So in the last session we discussed about sling models, right? So there we'll learn like what is sling model and what is sling model and how many ways we can adapt the sling model, how many ways we can adapt the sling models, we can adapt the sling models and sling model annotations. Okay, sling model annotations. So these we learned in the last session. What is sling model and how many ways we can adapt the sling model and a sling model annotations like at the rate model, at the rate inject, at the rate value map value, at the rate named, at the rate OEJ service. So these are the annotations we discussed in the last session. Okay. So today we'll start with HTL. HTL. So what does it mean by HTL? HTML meaning HTML templating language. HTML templating language. So if you have the knowledge on HTML, then you can understand with HTML language. HTML meaning HTML templating language. HTML templating language. So generally before HTL we have the JSP. Sorry guys. We have the JSP Java server page. So with that we created the components and all. So if you see in our components also by default you can get the JSP. Okay, so again we need to change JSP to .html. So if you go with the JSP, there's we have the some drawbacks. If you want to write any code by using JSP, you have to have the knowledge on Java. Without Java, you cannot write JSP. You cannot write JSP. So there's some like if you want to develop with JSP, it is taking more time. It is taking more time, meaning obviously the development time is also increase. Obviously, it will increase the cost also. It will increase the cost also. So these are the some disadvantages. If you go with some disadvantages, if you go with JSP, the first one is cost wise. Cost is one disadvantage, and it will take more time. Time is also one disadvantage, and next one is code also. There is no security. There is no security. So these are the drawbacks if you go with the JSP. So later, like at the time of 6.1 and 2, so we use only JSP. So if you go with the JSP, these are the disadvantages. Cost wise, it will take more cost, it will take more time, and there is no security if you go with the JSP. So that is the reason the Adobe team they has introduced to us, that is the HTL. HTML. What does it mean by HTML? HTML templating language. This HTML templating language is also called as Sitely. This is also called as Sitely. Okay, fine. What is the purpose of HTML templating language? So we can inject dynamic values into the HTML elements. The purpose of a HTML language, we can inject dynamic values into HTML elements. So for example, normally how the syntax it should be. I will normally I will show you. For example, there you have the HTML. For example, if I would like to take H1 and here inside I would like to set some text, some dummy text I'm taking. So here I would like to take some dummy message and I am closing the element. So in this case, I am passing some attribute class equal to some name I am giving, some demo I am giving, and this is the class name, and this is the text, and this is the element. So generally, I would say this is the HTML element. HTML element is this one. HTML element. H1 is the HTML element. Header one is the HTML element, and attribute. This is the attribute. Attribute is class is the attribute. Class is the attribute, and next we have text. Text is the this one. Dummy text is the text. Dummy message is the text. Dummy message is the text. Similarly, we have the custom attribute. Custom attribute. So these attributes are predefined one. Whatever the class IDs, so whatever the we wrote in HTML, those are the custom. Those all are predefined attributes. The words already available in predefined libraries, meaning in the HTML, in CSS or HTML, those all are predefined one. Predefined one. So along with that, so we have some custom attributes. This like normally if you write the go with the HTML, so these are the normally the structure it should be like this. Okay, element and attributes and the content and element close, element open, element close, element open and element close. This is the element one. Attribute name is the class name, and next this is the message. This is the message. This attributes are the predefined. So along with that, we have the some custom attributes. We have the some custom attributes. Okay, how we can identify the custom attributes? We can identify the custom attributes. So the custom attributes they will start with the data hyphen sly. So they will start with the data sly. Data sly use like that. So in HTL we have total we have 13 custom attributes. We have total 13 custom attributes. So based on the requirement, we will use each custom attribute based on the requirement. Based on the requirement. So I hope this is clear. Like what does it mean by custom attribute? How you can identify the custom attribute? Custom attribute you can identify. So the custom attribute starts with data sly use. Not only use, you can mention any name like author name, any name you can mention. This is the custom attribute. If you want to define, if you want to pass any custom attributes, then we will use data sly, any name, custom attributes. So in the HTL, we have total 13 block statements. So we will discuss about 13 block statements one by one. One by one. And these are the disadvantages with the JSP, and these all the problems you can overcome with HTML templating language. HTML templating language. Sitely is the old name, and this is the new name. HTL is the HTML templating is the new name. HTML templating language. So if you have the aware of HTML, then you can easily write the custom attributes, and you can include the Java files in the HTML, and we can do easily. We can do easily. Okay, we can overcome these all the problems by using the HTML templating language, and here we will use the Sightly expression for Sightly expression, which is used to inject the data into the HTML markup. HTML markup. The Sightly expression is that should be this is the syntax for the Sightly expression. This is the syntax for the Sightly expression, and which is used to inject the data into the HTML markup language. Inject the data into the HTML markup language. HTML markup language. Okay. Next, so here total we have the 13 block statements, and we will discuss one by one. And here one more point in HTML templating language, it allow only 4 literals. The literals are it can allow boolean values, and it can allow numbers, and it can allow string values, and it can allow arrays. These 4 literals only in HTML language it will allow. Okay, so if you want to add dates, if you want to add any images, so in that case you have to mandatory you have to mention the format. You have to mention the format. So according to that format only the HTML language has to display. we have to mention the format. According to the format only, the HTML language has to display. Okay, so by default, it won't. By default, it allow only four literals. The four literals are boolean, numbers, string, and arrays. These are the four literals. By default, it allows. By default, it allows four literals: boolean, numbers, string, and arrays. Boolean numbers, string, and arrays. Boolean number and string and arrays. So this is a sightly expression which is used to inject the data into the HTML markup language. HTML markup language. HTML markup language. Okay, so we'll go with one by one. So the total we have the 13 block statements, like that is data SLY use, and we have the data SLY test, and we have data SLY include, and we have data SLY resource, and we have data SLY list, and we have data SLY repeat, and we have data SLY template, and we have data SLY call, and we have data SLY text, and we have data SLY attribute, and we have data SLY I would say call text, and we have the data SLY set, and we have the data SLY element. So these are the custom attributes actually we have. So we'll try to understand one by one. So generally, uh, in Java we created for objects for every class, right? And if you want to reuse the class in like in anywhere, so generally what we did in the core Java, we create one object, and wherever you want, we will reuse that object. So Java is the OOP oriented language. So generally everything you can deal with the objects only. Everything you can deal with the objects only. So similarly, data SLY use is the attribute which is used to create the objects for Java, JavaScript template objects. Okay, so the Java language you can write in some other locations, and that files you can store. You can create one object, and through that object you can call the methods and variables and all. Variables, methods, and all. Okay, so the purpose of this one is it is initialize objects. It is it is initialize the Java and JavaScript and template objects, template objects. So which is similar to object creation only, which is with the help of data SLI use, we can able to create the objects. We can able to create the objects for the Java classes. In the last session, we discussed like in the Sling model, so the backend logic we wrote somewhere, and that entire backend logic we created on object, and entire backend logic we store in one object, and from that we are accessing methods. So this we seen in the last session, right? Okay, next we have the data SLY test. Data SLY test is the attribute which is similar to if block in core Java. So when the only the true concern, only the condition is true, and it will go inside and it will execute the if block. So similarly, data SLY test is also only positive concern. Only positive concern. Only when the condition is true, then only it will go inside and it will execute the block. It will execute the block. So it will execute based on the condition. It will execute based on the condition, and it will execute based on the condition, and the condition should be the true. Condition should be true. Condition should be true. If the condition true only, then it will execute, and then it will display the content. Okay, this is data SLY test. Next you have the data SLY include. Data SLY include, for example, you have the multiple files in the component. If you want to include one file into the another file, then you can use data SLY include. Data SLY include, which is used to include one file into the another file, one file into the another file. Okay, so we'll see practical also. First we'll go with theoretical and then we'll go with practical one by one. Data SLY include, which is used to include one file into the another file. Next we have the data SLY resource. Resource meaning the component. The component or anything in the CRXC level. If you want to call one component into another component, then you can go with resource. Then we can go with resource. So generally which is used to include, or we can call one component into another component, or technically you can call one resource into another resource. Technically you can call one resource into another resource component. And next you have the data SLY list. Data SLY list, for example, you have the one container. You can assume, I would say, you can assume this is the container. Inside container there we have so how we can create this container in HTML. Normally you can take the div block. Div block is nothing but an empty container only, right? So this is the div block. Inside div block you can assume there we have some list. So the list it should be like this. For example, like I'm taking list and some demo, and I'm closing the list tag. So like that, this is the one list, and like that I would like to take, and the second text and li. So this is the, I would say, this is the parent element. The parent element in HTML, how we can represent by using the div. Not only div is not a parent, div is a empty container. Div is a empty container. So normally understanding purpose I am telling. So this is the div tag open, div element open, and here I'm closing the div element. Now when I go with the data SLY list, so whatever the elements available in this container, those elements you can iterate one by one. Those elements you can iterate one by one. Like when you go with this one, these list you can able to get. You can see this list you can able to see. Okay. So data SLY list is the custom attribute which is used to iterate the elements available in the parent tag, the elements available in the container. So this is also a very important question in the interview perspective. They will ask like, what is the difference between the list and repeat? So when you go with the repeat, so every time it will be repeated with the parent element. It will repeat with parent element. But in case of list, it will repeat. We can iterate all the elements available inside the container. But if you go with the repeat, it will repeat with the parent element. With the parent element, they can able to repeat. They can able to repeat. So that we will see the practical, then you can get the clarity on it. So a data SLY list, which is used to iterate iterate the objects available in the container. Objects available in the container. And next we have the data SLY repeat, and which is used to iterate the object available in the container with the parent element, or you can say host element. Object available in object available in, we can say, container container with parent element, or we can say host element host element. So this is all about repeat. Next you have the template. So template generally which is used to, so for creating the pages template is mandatory, and if you pass the any values in the template level, then we have the option that is the data SLY template. Data SLY template. So data SLY template which is used to pass the values dynamically to the template. Pass the values dynamically to template level, template level. Next data SLY call. So by default the template won't execute by default. So in the Java generally our custom methods also by default don't execute, right? So you have to call the custom methods manually. Then only the custom methods will execute. So similarly by default template also won't execute by default. You have to call the template by using data SLY call. Data SLY call. So which is used to call the template. Call the template. Call the template. Next we have the text attribute set element. These are the small attributes. So for normally, so this data SLY text meaning. So it replace the content of its host element. Its host element. And next we can have the data SLY attribute. So data SLY attribute which is used to add the attribute to the host element. Add attribute to the host element. And next we have uh, data SLY set which is used to set the value to the variable, which is used to set the value to the variable. Next we have the data SLY element. Data SLY element, so which is used to replace the host element with specified content. Specified content. So these are the total custom 13 custom attributes we have. Total custom 13 custom attributes we have. Data SLY use and data SLY test, data SLY include and data SLY resource and data SLY list, data SLY repeat, data SLY template, data SLY call, data SLY text, data SLY attribute, data SLY set, and data SLY element. Data SLY element. So in the interview perspective also very regular questions. Any interview, these are the common questions. They will ask like what is the difference between the list and repeat, list and repeat, and what are the custom attributes we used in your all overall experience. They will ask these kind of questions. They will ask in case of HTL, HTML templating language, HTML templating language. Okay, fine. So we'll go with one by one. So in the last session, we created one Java class, and for that we created one object by using data SLY use. Data SLY use. So I'm not explaining this one. Already we did one program on in the last session, that is Sling model. In that Sling model, we use the data SLY use only. Data SLY use the custom attribute which is used to create the objects. Which is used to create the object. Okay, so now we'll go with data SLY data SLY test. Data SLY test. So which is similar to if condition. Which is similar to if condition. For example, if you take any value here, like I would like to mention, for example, int a equal to, if I take like 10 value, and if I take the same condition here, here I will take the condition. So here I would say enter a equal to some 10, and I'm here I would like to take the condition. The condition is mm, a equal to 10. Okay, if the condition is true, then the controller go inside and it will execute the statement, then it will execute the logic. We will write here business logic. So similarly, in case of data SLA2 test also the same process. I will go to our AM and then we'll go and see, and I will open my AM. So I will go with any one component. For example, we'll go with the entity component. So in your case, you can take and do with any component. I'm going with entity component. So entity dot the component. From this, I will delete this file. Save up. This is my file and this is my dialog. If I open my dialog, items, this is the fields: title, description, image, date of birth, number, field, multiple, checkbox. In your case, if checkbox is not have, then you can create the checkbox. Go to the items, create node, and mention checkbox. The name you can mention anything. So in my case, I'm mentioning as the checkbox. Type is NT unstructured. Click on OK and save all, and give the open properties panel. Give the sling resource type. So you can copy the line. You can copy this property from existing node. I'm going to there, paste here. Here I am adding, instead of number field, I am adding checkbox. So you can go with that location and then you can cross verify as well, or else you can simply copy that path and then you can go with that and you can paste in the, so directly can able to get a checkbox. So this is the actual path. Checkbox is the actual path. Now you can go with that. Okay, so I need to take one variable, and the variable name is, I would like to give dot, this is the variable name, save all. Okay, so generally I took one checkbox, and if I open my page dialog, I'm opening my page, sites.html. You can go with any page. In my case, I'm going with en page, edit en page, and go down. This is the article page. You can delete article page as of now morning. Okay, fine. This is the breadcrumb component also wanted. You can delete. Okay, fine. Now I am adding entity data. I'm adding entity data. Entity data is the component name, and I am adding entity data. And go to the entity data, so which is already dragged in 2 times. You can delete one time. Delete one time. Okay, so click on that, and when you scroll down, then you can see checkbox is coming. Checkbox is coming. So when you click on that, then it will be a true, right? So if it is the true, then we will write the data SLI test, and the condition is true, then it will go inside. So like that, we will write uh, the HTL code. Okay. For example, here simply I am taking data SLY test. So this is the HTML element. I am opening HTML element and I am closing HTML element. And inside HTML element, I am taking custom attribute. The custom attribute is data SLY test. Data SLY test, and here we can write the condition, meaning slightly you can mention the slightly expression, and inside I will write the properties dot variable name. If the variable name is true, then only it will go inside. I will mention properties dot check. If the property, if I author the checkbox and it will become a true. It will become a true. Then whatever, if I wrote any logic inside the block, it will execute. It will execute. It will execute. Now I will open that one and then so checkbox, and inside this one, inside this one, I will take one more div block, or for example, this is the dialog. In that dialog, so if I author the title, for example, the title, if I author the dialog, so the title should be displayed when the condition is true. Title, it should display when the condition is true. When I check the unbox, then only the title should display. So how we can write the program that one? How we can write the cycle code for that one? So if the condition is true, then only it has to execute. It has to execute. Then you can take the properties dot the variable name, whatever the variable name you given there, entity title, and this mandatory recommended to mention in double quotation. Now we can save the. Now we can save this one. Now we can see. So if the condition, this is the condition. If the condition is true, this is the condition. If the condition is true, then only it will execute. Then only, so I am reading the page title. Then only the page title will display. If it is false, then it won't display. So this is the logic. So based on the condition, we are displaying the content. Okay. The same thing, I am going to my page, reload my page, and I will go to my component and author the dialog and give the tick mark for the check, and then here you can give the hello and then click on done. Now displaying, so you can go with and check again with the code base div data SLY test, and you can mention slightly properties spelling mistake. You can take properties dot check, properties dot check and properties dot check. Can now we can go with the reload the page, and now you can see hello is coming. Again click on that. If you uncheck, if it is the check, it will come. If it is the check, it will come. For example, if you not uncheck, for example, here I am not unchecking, hello I am giving, and if I click on that, it won't display. It will display only when the true condition. Only when you check the checkbox, then only the content will display. If not, it won't display. So this is all about test, data SLY test. This is all about data SLY test. Only the positive consent, it has to display the content. It has to display the content. It has to display the content. Okay, this is all about data SLY test. So this is the example for data SLY test. Next we have the data SLY include. Include meaning if you want to include one file into the another file. For example, I will go to the entity component, and here we have the one file. So you can create other files also. Create and create file. You can mention like some demo.html, and you can save the file, and you can write some dummy messages, data coming demo file, and this file I want to include in the entity data HTML file. How we can include that? You can do by using data sly include. So that take the component that is data sly include, and here you can mention with the component, the file name you can mention here. The file name is generally a demo.html, right? So you can mention demo.html, and here some text also I would like to take data coming from entity data component, entity data. Okay, so now you can go with the page, reload the page. So see, we are including one file into the another file by using data sly include. But we cannot call other component files. We can call the files which is available in the same component, Okay, so this is all about the data sly include meaning, if you want to include one file into the another file, then we can go with data sly include. The data sly include. This is the some example for the data sly include. So I'm mentioning data sly include. Next we have the data sly resource. Data sly resource which is used to, if you want to include one component to the another component, then we can go with the data sly resource. So that we will see in the last example. Now we'll go with the remaining, and then finally we'll discuss about the data sly resource. Okay, next we have the data sly list. So for example, now I want to, my current page is en page. So under en page, total I have. So if I go to my en page and sites demo en, so total I have 3 pages. So I would like to create again 2 pages. For example, you can select any of the template. I would like to select the template, and I would like to mention article 4 page and create. So total I have 4 child pages. I want to display all child pages available under en page. En will be act as a parent page, and these all are the children pages. I want to print, I want to list whatever the child pages are available under the parent page of en. En page. En will be act as a parent page. Under the en page, under this path, how many child pages are available, I want to list. Then how we can get? So page level information. So here we have the one more the thing, that is global objects. For example, HTML global objects in HTL. You can look for the global objects in HTL. Then these are the global objects. We have the OGA framework. Whenever you are deploying the the backend code into the AM server, OGA framework by default it will generate global objects. These are the standard objects. These are the standard objects. So if you want to know the page information, then we have to go with a page class and log, outer, page manager, reader, request, resource, resolver. So based on the situations, we will use these global objects. Based on the situation, we will use the global objects. Properties, page properties, properties, page properties. So based on the request, we will take with. Now I want to find out the how many pages are available in my current page. This is the global object. I want to know, I want to find out how many pages are available under en page. So this is the global object I'm using. This global object, whenever you are deploying, OEG framework will assign the values. OEG framework, it will create these objects. OEG framework, it will create these objects. So with these we will, based on the requirement, we will use these objects actually. So now I will go with the current page, and I want the child pages data sly. I am taking with the list, and here I want to read mm, current page. Current page is the global object, and from that I want list children. I want list children. List children is the method. So from that you can find out all the child pages. List children. Current page is the global object, and this is the method. List children. List children. Okay. So from that I want to know all the names, all the page names. You can take slightly expression item dot name. Item dot name. Okay. I can save this one. Now I will go to my page, en page, reload the page, go down. Now see, all pages are coming. It is giving all pages list, but all are coming in one line. Okay, so I want to represent in line by line. Then you can use the break statement. Then you can use break statement. You simply can mention break statement, and now you can go with the en page, reload the en page, reload the en page. Now all are coming in different lines. All are coming in different lines. That is okay. Now the thing is, go with preview mode and inspect. Go to inspect, click on that. If you see, this is the parent, and inside the parent we have the elements. We have the elements. Okay, this is meaning whatever the container is having, it is iterating, it is printing all the elements available in the container. Okay, okay, that is okay. Now we'll go with the repeat. If I change list to repeat, and you can see the magic. I'm changing to repeat and save, and the same page I'm going, and you can reload. You can remember the structure how it displayed in case of list, and you can reload the page. Now you can go to with that page locations, inspect, and page locations you can go with. Now you can see how the structure it is showing to us, how the structure which is showing to us, how the structure which is showing to us. So previous case it is displaying only the parent tag and element, but in this case every element it is displaying with parent, with the parent element. With the container it is repeating. With the container it is repeating. So that is the difference. In the interview perspective they will ask like what is the difference between the list and repeat. List is the customer attribute which is used to uh, give the which is used to represent the elements available in the container, and data is a repeat which is used to repeat with parent element. With container, it can repeat with container. Okay, div is the container, it is repeating with the container. It is repeating with container. So that is the difference between data SLY list and repeat. Data SLY list and repeat. Data SLY list and repeat. Okay. So this I will copy. Only the difference between list and repeat is container only. It will repeat with container, and in case of list, it will repeat only elements. Only elements. Now I am going to here. This is the code for data SLY repeat. Repeat, and the same code you can use in data SLY list also. Data SLY list also. This we can mention data SLY list. This is the data SLY repeat. Data SLY repeat. Next we have the template. So template for creating the pages, template is mandatory. So as of now, I will show you normal how to create the template, and briefly we will discuss. We have the templates concept. At the time we will briefly discuss about the templates. Now I will normally briefly I will give about the template. So how to create the template. So generally you can create the templates by using templates console. The templates console is available. Go to your aim start.html, the tools option. There you have the templates option. This is the console to create the templates. Go inside and go to your project, and these are the templates. These are the templates. These are the templates I created so far. So if you want to create one more template, then you can go simply inside, and this is the template type. You can select the template type. So what does it mean template type? And we'll discuss at the time of templates. So as of now, you can create the template like this. Go to the aim start.html tools option. There you have the templates console. Go inside and go with that your page. These are the templates. These all are the templates. So similarly, I want to create one more template. I want to click one more template. So create and select the template type. This is the template type you can select, and go to the next. Here you can give the name. For example, here I am giving entity info. Entity info is the template name. It is the template name. Click on create and done. And by default, which is in the draft state. Draft state meaning the template created, but the template is not ready to use. Then make sure you can mention enable. Enable meaning that it can move to for draft state to enabled state. Now the template is ready to use. Now the template is ready to use. Now I will use this template, and then I can pass some dynamic values. Some dynamic values. So that how you can pass the dynamic values. We have the custom attribute, that is the template. That is the template. Data SLY template, and you can mention template dot, the template name is entity info. Entity info is the template name, and here I would like to pass some parameters to my template, like at the rate first name, and I would like to mention last name, and I would like to some parameters for understanding purpose. I am taking three. Normally based on the requirement we can take number of parameters. So the template level I am passing three parameters, and I want to read those three parameters. For reading those three parameters, so I want to display those three parameters in some. I would like to take h2 element close, and so here inside I want to read the template values. These are the parameters, and the template level we are taking the parameters. Here we are reading the parameters. We can read the parameters by using the slightly expression. So this is the some dummy text, and for understand, I would say for displaying purpose, first name, and you can mention